What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Brap Genius, back at again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like having a passenger and you know, basically what they need to do and how it feels for you as the rider. Yeah, start it off right, boys. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hi Mom, sorry not sorry.
Yeah, we're getting real muddy.
But on camera when I die?
Of course. So before we get started, I'm out here with my buddy Scott, and as you can see, he's riding 2 up today. He's got his girlfriend Renee on the back. You know, we're just warming up our tires. I haven't seen him in a while, so you know, headed to the town over, saw him, figured I'd say what's up, and we do a nice ride. So we're gonna give you a good view of her body position right now because we're coming up to a red light. And yeah, you guys can kind of just use this for a basis of how you're going to want to sit if you're the passenger. And basically, what's going on? Basically how, you know, you want your passenger sitting. So you guys can kind of see she's keeping her distance a little bit. But she's on the seat, she's holding him. I'm going to talk about what you're going to do as you're riding. But basically that's the position that you're going to want, is the way she's set up right now. Foot balance on the pegs, balls of your feet on the pegs themselves. Now you can see she's kind of just going to do what he does and lean with him, which is what you need to do as the passenger, and that's what you're going to need your passenger to do. Now, I've had plenty of passengers on the back of my bike. At this point, this is Scott's first time having anyone on the back, so he's going to take it easy. We're going to hit some nice side roads and stuff, let him get accustomed to the feel of it before we do anything crazy. And yeah, he's basically just gonna get a feel for it. So the most important thing when you are a passenger or you have a passenger is their body positioning. And very simply, all you're gonna tell them is they just want to mimic whatever the rider is doing. So for example, if we're coming up to a turn, I want to turn left. If I'm gonna lean my body to the left, just tell them lean with me. That's really all they have to do. When you're coming down to a stop, you know, you could take your hands, they're going to be wrapped around you normally, right? But then they could take their hands and press them against the gas tank as they're slowing down, so that you do not put all of your body weight on the rider. As a rider, I've had that happen multiple times, and it's just not fun when you're getting smashed into your tank from behind. So one thing you'll notice there is it's a little bit harder to turn at slower speeds with the extra weight on the back, at least until you're used to it. Once you get used to it, you have somebody on the back all the time, it's fine. But in the beginning, when you're still learning it, it's a little intimidating. All you got to do is just take it slow, balance. Remember, look where you want to go. That is a very big factor in riding, is look where you want to go, and that's where you're going to end up going. So if you're getting a little unbalanced, just give it a little bit more throttle, and that'll help you sustain some of your balance. Now, the second biggest factor when it comes to riding with someone on the back, in terms of how it's going to feel for you, the rider, is the weight of your passenger. Sometimes people go 2 up, you know, 2 guys, they get real cuddly. I haven't done that yet, but I've seen some people do it because they want to, I guess, get a feel for what it's like to be on a bike before they go buy a bike themselves. So sometimes you got people that are 200, 250 on the back of these bikes. And that's really where you're going to feel the difference, guys. Is if the person is light, you're not going to feel really much of a difference at all. You know, they're just going to be hugging you, and you're going to just kind of go with whatever. They're just going to go with whatever you're doing. You're not really going to notice much of a difference at all. But if they do weigh more, you're going to notice, you know, you do have to push harder on the bars to turn. You do feel the weight more in the turns than you normally would as well. So you just have to take that into account when you're riding, and just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. And really just learn. And one important factor that I will definitely say is, do not show off. This is not the time to show off. I know a lot of guys get bikes to go show off the girls. You know, they want to take girls out on bikes, and that's cool and stuff. But unless you really know what you're doing, don't go showing off, because you're going to put the other person at risk, not just yourself. putting yourself at risk is one thing, but it's not fair to put somebody else at risk with you. So don't be a show-off. For example, there was a girl that I took, the first girl I ever took on my motorcycle. She wanted me to pass cars, you know, in double yellows and go 150 miles an hour, which may or may not have happened by myself, but you know, the first time I'm taking somebody on a motorcycle, I'm not going to go passing cars at 150 miles an hour, like, for multiple reasons. One, I'm not comfortable doing that with anybody on the back at that point. You know, it's the first time I'm doing it. And number two, like, as a passenger, you're still very new to this in general if you've never been on the back. So she had never been on the back of a bike before either. I'm like, well, that's just stupid on both of our ends if I went and did that, because now I'd be putting myself at risk and I'd be putting her at risk, because I'm still learning what it's like to have a passenger on the back, and you know, she was still learning how to be a passenger, you know. So you just don't do anything stupid, don't be a show-off. Go out, learn how to ride with someone on the back of your bike, and then as you get more confident and you really get some practice, then you can do some more maneuvering, obviously within legal limits. So another thing with it too is I kind of want to talk about what it's like having a passenger, whether or not I like it. To be honest, you know, there's definitely times I love having my girlfriend on the back of my bike with me. You know, it's nice to have a nice ride, and then we can go stop somewhere nice, either get lunch or go to a nice scenic view, make a nice date out of the whole day. So there's definitely times where it's a positive, and then there's definitely times where, you know, you don't want it. You know, there's times I want to go out and just ride on the bike by myself, go out, have fun, not have to worry about somebody else on the back, and, you know, making sure that they're safe too, and doing everything they're supposed to. Sometimes I just want to go out and, you know, enjoy the bike myself. Here we go again. I'll give you another view quick. Like I said, she's gonna wrap her arms around him. Hey, what's up? Her arms are wrapped around him. See, she's kind of leaning with him, and it's like she is an extension of him. And that's really how you're gonna ride safe. You can see he leans to the right, she kind of follows. And for your head positioning for the passengers, usually you want to put it to one side, one or the other. Make it easy on yourselves. Don't keep switching back and forth, because then you throw the rider off if you're going back and forth all the time, and then you're bopping helmets. And you know, it's funny in the beginning, but it gets old after a while. So definitely just make sure you kind of stay to one side with your helmet. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to give you guys a little insight. Be aware, it's not as intimidating as it's not as hard as you think it is. It's not as intimidating as, you know, some of you might think it is. It's a lot easier than probably what you're expecting. So you got to just go slow in the beginning. Like I said, make sure they are holding around you when they come to a stop. They put their hands on the tank. Biggest thing is make sure they're following your movements, whichever way you're leaning. Make sure they follow you. Balls of their feet on the pegs, and just make sure they hang on, and then keep your helmets, you know, onto one side, so that you're not bopping heads. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. If you liked the video, hit like, hit subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.